Hello, everyone. This is in continuation to our operations management. The next topic, what we are going to discuss is about demand forecasting. And first, let us understand what is demand. We can say it simply means any consumer's desire to buy goods and services without any hesitation and pay the price for it. Means they should have the desire and also the purchasing power to buy. So that is basically demand. We can also say it is the number of goods that the customers are ready and willing to buy at several prices during a given time frame. Prices may not be stable, it may vary, but still customers are ready and willing to buy. Demand for products like smartphones, soaps, etc. These are some of the examples. Demand for services from urban company or any plumbing services or any other household services we are calling for. Forecasting. It is the process of making predictions based on the past data and also some present data also we'll be using, but mainly focused on past. We'll be doing the analysis in the present to forecast for the future, to predict for the future. Forecasting product requirements, weather forecasting, forecasting of fashion trends, forecasting of tourist inflow, forecasting of patient admission are some of the examples of doing a forecasting. Why we need to do the forecast? Because that will provide you the essential information about the future customer demand, and it will assist companies in making more intelligent decisions about the production planning, inventory management, and also supply chain operations. It helps with the profit margins, cash flow, capital expenditures, future capacity planning, and also more than that. From where we get the information for doing forecasting, source of information, market report, sales force opinion, because sales and marketing people are generally interacting with customers. They will know exactly what the customer wants, etc. Experts' views, those who are in that area, they will be knowing much more about the product than anybody. So you will take their views also, opinions also. Industry reports like trade journals and all those things. Point of sales data, going to a shop and understanding directly at that point itself. Structured customer survey, field report, unstructured and semi-structured data, etc. These are all some of the sources of information where we can use these things for doing our forecasting. Range of period for forecasting. It can be short run, where you focus on the operational decisions. Generally, it ranges from 6 months to 8 months. Medium run forecast, focus on the maintenance of the organization. Generally ranges from 6 months to 1 year, and sometimes it may extend up to 2 years also. Long run forecasting, focus on future growth. So period from 1 year to 5 years, sometimes it extends even up to 15 years. What is the purpose of doing a short run forecasting? To estimate the inventory requirement, to provide transport facilities for dispatch of finished goods, and also to decide about the workloads for men and machines. And also, it will enable for people who are planning the working capital, this will enable them to do that much more effectively. To set up for the production run for the products and to fix sales quota, to find the required overtime to meet the delivery promises. Sometimes you may not have the sufficient manpower, so you may have to end up giving overtime to your existing workers. How much that is required, that can be done through the forecast. Purpose of medium run forecasting, to determine budgetary control over expenses, to determine the dividend policy. May not be directly done by the production planning department, but this information will enable the finance and accounts people to determine this dividend policy, to find and control maintenance expenses, to determine schedule of operations, to plan for capacity adjustments. How do we manage if there is an urgent requirement from any of the customers, etc. Purpose of long run forecasting, to work out expected capital expenditure for future developments or to acquire new facilities, to determine expected cash flow from sales, to plan for future manpower requirements, to plan for material requirement, to plan for the research and development. What are all the different steps to be adopted in forecasting? Primarily, we need to know the objective, determine the objective of the forecast, what for we are doing the forecast. Then select the period, whether it should be a short run or medium run or long run. Select the methodology we want to use for making the forecast. That depends on the period, objective, scope, and resources. Gather information to be used in the forecast. It can be from primary source or from secondary source. And then finally, you make the forecast. What are all the different forecasting methods available? Qualitative methods, we have survey of buyers' intentions or the user's expectation method. Then you have collective opinion or sales force composite method. You have group executive judgment or executive judgment method, wherein your own top management people will give you information about what they feel about the forecast. I mean, what they feel about the demand of the product. Experts' opinions, these are all qualitative methods. Apart from this, even market test method is also a qualitative method. In quantitative or statistical methods, we have regression analysis, are also called as causal analysis, where you try to establish a relation between cause and effect relation between two or more variables. Then we have time series analysis, where we have method of moving averages, method of least squares, which are the popular time series analysis.